So we've been winning a bunch of competitions, and most recently, NASSCOM, this is as of last week actually, NASSCOM recognized us as one of the top 37 startups in India, and we're part of one of their cohorts to do this. So we're just kind of like happy to be leading. Then we said, okay, instead of being a solution provider, can we solve a problem? So in trying to solve that problem that I had talked about, we ended up expanding our scope of what we could do with AI. And what you see here is all the things that are currently possible from the BabbleWorks platform. So again, happy to talk more about it over the break. But essentially, we are at this point probably the widest ranging generative AI hiring platform in the country. So what I wanted to do was to talk about some of the case studies. I wanted to put them in the context of, let's say, if you, what are the myths that are in people's mind? And again, I'm hoping it connects with at least some of you of what we have been thinking about what's happening with AI and what is the real deployment looks like and what does the impact of that look like. So with the first one I'd like to start with is the myth is what about bias, right? So, and since this is the 7th session in this AI series, but I think a lot of you are new here, so I don't know where the current thinking on bias is, but at least a few months ago, this used to be a huge thing. Oh, are we going to add bias because of like the AI, right? So first of all, I think anybody who's a practitioner in HR will tell you how much bias is already in the system. So all the people who talk about this bias are the ones who are not practitioners, and I have huge respect for people who practice and are honest about what the limitations of your current stack are, whether it's a human stack or it's an AI stack. So I want to share this customer. Their full name is LJ Biopharma.
And I can speak for Sangoban, for example. I know that you're saying, look, we'll double our revenue in this period of time. Doubling our revenue, some of it will come from just growth, some of it is going to come from people. And if you really think about, hey, how can I get past this hiring, which is actually such a massive transactional pull, it really brings a use case for AI, and we'll talk a little bit more about it later. The other thing, actually, this is an interesting one I find in a lot of cases, is even good old-fashioned predictive workforce modeling, which is really, the case for saying, look, historically we hired 400 people between August and October. These 400 people have been in sales because our peak season gets in post-Diwali. We know that. And we know that that's what we've done in the past 3 years. Ideally, you want something that's able to tell you that, look, this is the workforce you're up against for the next 3 years. This is how you need to plan for it. This is the mix that you'll typically be hiring, and these are the places you should be going to hire. And that's the kind of technology that today is available. Lines across all our 80 factories use AI, and use technology. We're able to say that under these circumstances can take people out of the process. We use AI to drive safety. We have auto stop. The moment the person crosses, all the vehicles stop so that it, our safety records. Yeah. So we really used it there.
And from the HR perspective,
will be built for later, sir. We have questions.